Chapter 12 Deity. The shrine of Dagon was motionless, yet verbal messages echoed to Jarius. The demon god's voice was unmistakable. I will not aid you. You are on your own. Why won't he help us? Jason thought to Jarius. Because he is busy? You aren't going to explain it to me, are you? Jarius said nothing as he closed his spellbook. Clemo was leaning in the doorway, staring at him. The eyes were narrowed, practically stabbing into Jarius. Jarius stood up, turning to face the motionless Clemo. If you're going to try to kill me, now is the best and last opportunity you will ever get. My sword is in the other room, and I need to conserve as many spells and psychic energy as I possibly can against what will arrive at any moment. Clemo walked away. His motives make no sense. Sure they do. If you truly are the most vile thing there is to him, he literally has no reason to... Jason was cut off by a loud explosion taking place on the other side of the city. Never mind, it is time. Jarius held out his hand, allowing his sword to materialize in his palm. Can you activate the speed of Grotst? No, the old Jason could. I have none of his powers. Everything I can do, I had to relearn on my own. While I can't imagine the speed of Grotst, I would need to witness it to copy it. Shaking his head, but having no time to respond, Jarius rushed outside to see the attackers. Along the way, Clemo arrived next to him. The two continued until they had a clear view of the threat. The sky was filled with countless winged, human-shaped life forms. They were moving sporadically. Most of these creatures were attacking the countless undead on the ground. Those two winged things were too far away to fully make out. Jarius stopped running to look at the attackers. They attacked the outside of the city. He laughed at the sight. Clemo halted as well. Why are you laughing? He shouted. Still laughing, Jarius looked at Clemo. Don't you see what those stupid angels are doing? Clemo held his questioning gaze. Yeah, they are killing your army from the sky. Even if they attack my army for over 100 years like that, they might destroy 1% of my endless undead forces. We don't need to do anything. Those holy forces are going to exhaust themselves. Jarius proceeded to sit down. Clemo! Jarius snapped his fingers. What? Clemo answered, annoyed. Not you. Running their way, a Zincarla Clemo arrived. Returning to the Zincarla, Jarius pointed at him. Order my flyers. The Zincarla rushed off to fulfill his order. Clemo drew vision to prepare himself for the oncoming battle. You don't need that yet. It will be a very long time before they get this close. But they are just outside the city, Jarius. They will come at any moment. I know how they think. No, they will not be coming anytime soon. My flyers will overwhelm them. These early attackers they have sent are not what we should be concerned about. What then? Illuminating the surrounding area, a green glow appeared between Clemo and Jarius. The astral projection of Jason manifested. Those angels and archons in the sky are a distraction. Yes, I know. Jarius responded calmly. Jason turned to Jarius. What will we do then? Clemo sheathed vision. What is going to happen? How can we possibly fight the forces of a good god, Jason? This feels wrong. Jason turned back to Clemo. Looking in his friend's eyes, he saw his lost confusion. Clemo, I'm sorry that you do not understand. We will change that. The astral projection pointed at Clemo. A beam fired from his finger. Clemo braced himself for an attack. Instinctively, Clemo attempted to teleport away, forgetting about the anti-teleport around the city. The beam surged into his eyes, rushing through his ocular sensors, traversing from neuron to neuron over the synapses within Clemo's brain. The manifested power hurled across the labyrinth mind of Clemo, finding his memory. Hugging onto a specific collection of neurons within the lobes, Jason planted memories, not altering, but adding new ones. Clemo fell to his knees from the sudden knowledge entering his brain. What have you done to me? He clutched his head. No pain existed. Instead, there was dizziness and disorientation. You will recover momentarily, my friend. I do not have time to fully explain our situation to you, so I have given you the memories. Focus on this, and you will then know what I know. Clemo relaxed on the ground, folding his legs together. Letting go of his head, he closed his eyes, relaxing his body. Clemo meditated on this new memory. The servants of the god Deity number in the billions. Their servants include angels, archons, and loyal worshippers. The loyal worshippers are mortals who pray to Deity. These mortals include humans, elves, dwarves, orcs, goblins, and all manner of mortal creatures that dwell in the mortal planes. Deity is a good god of chaos. This is not new information to Clemo. Clemo witnessed Jarius Cain becoming a lich by torturing and sacrificing the souls of those 5 psychics, one of which was Clemo's own friend and comrade, Nezron, the brother of Jarius Cain. Clemo saw Jarius Cain sneak into the house of Jason as a very young boy and alter his mind to make him potentially become the Metamind. Not long after the prophecy of Jason, the Metamind, destroying heaven or hell, flashed past his eyes. Every good and evil denizen worries which Jason will choose. Clemo witnessed the supposedly good god Deity performing a preemptive strike and opening the portal just over Jason's village, allowing the demons to spew out and decimate his hometown, all to destroy Jason, or give him the motivation to destroy hell instead. The new memories continued, flowing through his mind, showing Dagon wielding the power of countless psychics, including the original Jason. Clemo witnessed the Reds under Dagon's control as well. Loth was held at bay by the power of Dagon. Loth controlled every remaining demon within her demon web of that final stretch of the abyss. 200 abysmal layers remained. Dagon became so powerful that he was actually obliterating abysmal layers. Loth, being a powerful goddess, was hindered by Dagon's power, ceasing entry from her realm. Finally, Clemo saw the attack Deity himself was actively doing. The main forces of Deity were distracted by the plethora of undead that surrounded the city. They will soon be overrun by the flyers Jarius has just dispatched. Teleporting in the city was impossible, thus preventing a direct assault. Jason revealed to Clemo that in a few hours there will be sent a covert force to attack them from within the city. They will sneak in through the same tunnels that Orcus dug when he attacked the same city. Clemo, along with the forces of Jarius, will meet them head-on. After a long battle, Corsair will show up. There will be a showdown between his best and Jarius's best. If they win, Deity will have one option. Retreat is not that option. Deity will have to show up personally to stop Jarius himself. It will be at this time that Deity can be vulnerable. The moment Deity enters the 3rd dimension is when they can fight him. Most importantly, Clemo now knows that the original Jason is not dead, but is a willing prisoner of Dagon. Through this, his goals can be accomplished. Clemo opened his eyes. His face held a sad expression as a tear fell from his eye. Jason, Clemo didn't know what to say. His words ceased. I know, Clemo. It's a terrible knowledge to know that a good God would utilize demons in such a manipulative plot. Now you know why I will kill him, Jason said. Does it have to be this way, Jason? Inevitably, yes it does. I could continue to work with the good gods, but after knowing this, knowing that they tried to kill me, doesn't bother me. It is knowing that they killed everyone I know and cared about just to kill me, and I cannot forgive. So you choose to fulfill the horrid part of the prophecy then? You spare hell to destroy heaven? Clemo accused, pointing at Jason. No, my friend, I do not. Jason began as Clemo contorted his face in confusion. You see, Clemo, I choose to destroy both. Clemo pointed at Jarius. And what about him? You know this is exactly what he wants. Why can't you destroy him and accomplish your goals? His desires are irrelevant. I don't care if he gets what he wants. The important thing is to destroy every god. Gods are terrible things, Clemo. While mortals are content with worshipping what they think are good gods, demons and devils worship evil, vile gods. Clemo held his hand to his head. This is too much, Jason. All of this revelation all at once. What are you going to do? I already told you, Clemo. I will destroy every god, good and evil. Since a good god has taken the initiative and attacked us first, I'll start with that one, after which I will proceed to the evil ones. Clemo shook his head with disappointment in Jason. I will still follow you, Jason. Jarius looked out to the sky, no longer interested in their conversation. He observed the flying, undead creatures reach the angels and archons in the air. Looking further into the distance, the wizard watched several angels have their wings ripped off. They fell to the ground, immediately unable to sustain their flight. One archon stabbed through a dozen undead, plowing their numbers, slashing and tearing them asunder with every strike, obliterating all in their path. He spun his weapon, disintegrating all within a dozen paces. The undead continued to move to him, ignoring his power and might. I wonder how long he will keep that up. Probably a few hours. He looks strong, Jason answered his question. The fighting continued for hours, all throughout the long day on Titanus. Ashta, the Dark Star, rose to the east, turning everything a deep blue. Fighting never ceased. Angels and archons never relented. Undead forces never slowed down. It was rare that any angelic soldier was killed. Only when they became careless did any of them fall in the heat of this battle. Flying undead things died by the hundreds from each flying enemy. The good forces rarely fell from the sky, and even when they did, they were far from defenseless. Zincarla, Jarius called out. Soon it arrived. How may I serve? It asked. Jarius touched his forehead. I bestow upon you a portion of my power. I allow you to raise the dead in my name. You will go to the battlefield and raise every servant of deity that falls. The necrotic green glow surrounded the undead Clemo. He absorbed it into himself, and without a word, he left to do as told. Twinkle, Magic, and Gray. The three worked their way through the tunnel, leading into Mor, the last city on Titanus. Undead were easy for these three to kill. They dispatched them quietly and quickly without being noticed by other undead. Twinkle led the other two. Gray used her enchanted eyes to warn of upcoming undead. Magic, why don't you make us invisible to them? She whispered. My spell won't last that long, but when we're ready to be invisible to the undead, I will cast it. It will only last an hour at the most. We will use it when we have to, Magic whispered. As they snuck past 3 zombies, Twinkle signed to the others. "Don't waste time on them." "How much further?" Gray asked. "Should be up just ahead. Once discovered, we will be in non-stop combat," Twinkle signed. "What is that up ahead?" Magic fumbled with his hands, nervous at the sight. He saw him, but disbelieved it. The hands of the figure ahead of them raised. A power manifested, causing a bubble to form around the 3 Klemos. A second hand under the first raised. A light shined out. Undead noticed the light, causing them to move towards the Klemos. They scraped and clawed at the impenetrable barrier, unable to get to the 3. Light grew from the source, exploding into a massive force, obliterating every undead within the tunnel. Gray looked at the source of this power to see the face of a red Klemo smiling. "What is going on?" Twinkle shouted. The tunnel dimmed again. Red manifested a light from one of his hands as he approached the trapped 3 Klemos. Everyone looked at him, standing just outside of their entrapment. "You killed me earlier," he said. "He can only know that if the Reds are mind-linked," Magic said. "And we are," Red said. "Magic, get us out of here," Twinkle ordered. Magic scolded Red. "I have no spell powerful enough to—" "No, you don't," Red laughed. Gray kept her swords drawn. "You will have to lower this power if you want to absorb us, Red, and we will put up one hell of a fight." "You wouldn't get nearly as lucky the second time, I promise you that much," Red coldly stated. "Unfortunately for me, fortunately for you, Dagon has plans for you 3 that do not involve you becoming more Reds." "We don't care. The moment you stop this power, we will fight you," Twinkle shouted. Red narrowed his eyes at Twinkle. "You are annoying insects. Today I will not absorb you, but one day I will." Gray laughed. "So, how long did it take for you to become Dagon's bitch?" "Irrelevant," Red said as he manifested another power. The 3 Klemos grasped their own necks, coughing, unable to breathe. They fell to their knees and soon fell to the tunnel floor unconscious. Red ended his power containing them. He tossed Magic over his left shoulder and used his left upper arm to secure him in place. Twinkle over his right shoulder, used his right upper arm to secure him in place, and carried the swordswoman with his 2 lower arms. Red floated in the air, manifesting another power, causing the 4 to become ethereal. They passed through the tunnel ceiling and floated up into the city. He tossed them at the feet of Jarius. "They would be more powerful as additional Reds," Red argued. "Yes, they certainly would, Klemo," Jarius chuckled. "Then why not allow it?" Red asked. They stood next to the shrine of Dagon coming to life once again. The shrine boomed Dagon's voice in the room, echoing all around for everyone to hear. "You will not have the chance, Klemo. Only one of you shall be allowed to roam outside of your prison. Now do as you are told." The shrine of Dagon reverted back to the lifeless marble state. Jarius smirked. "Now what? Do I join the fray and fight the angels in the sky?" Red asked. "No, you stay here with me," Jarius commanded. "What a waste of my power," Red said. Jarius stared into his eyes. "A waste, you say? Do you have such an ego that you believe you are the most powerful one here?" "Pfft, I am the most powerful one here." Jarius held his palm out, summoning his Godslayer sword. "Yes, that sword is quite powerful, but I—" Red did not finish his statement, as Jarius sliced him in half from top to bottom, instantly killing him. Jarius turned to the shrine of Dagon. "Send another one, please, my brother." Dagon said nothing, but let out a sound of indifference or annoyance. Clemo could not tell. Clemo, Jr., scratched his head in confusion. Why'd you kill him? He was useful to you. Jarius dismissed his Godslayer sword, relaxing his palm. Turning to Clemo, he shrugged. To prove a point. That you are more powerful than him? That, and I will not tolerate insubordination. The other Reds now know that I can kill them any time I want. They will be far less mouthy in the future. Gray began to stir awake. She moaned. Clemo bent down to her. My sister, why have you come here? Junior, why have you... is a much better question. Another Red descended down from the sky, landing next to Jarius. He said nothing. Oh, not going to mouth off this time? Jarius asked, taunting. Red looked away. Gray jumped up at the realization that Red and Jarius were standing next to Junior. Drawing her sword, she prepared for battle. Red sighed as he kinetically forced her to drop her weapons. You have no idea how fortunate you are that I am not allowed to kill you. It is Dagon's will that you live, Jarius said. You mean Jason's will, Junior corrected. Jarius shrugged. Could be. I don't care. Jason astral projected out of Jarius' head. I have not willed this. Junior laughed. A strange chuckle he had never spewed. He sounded like a man on the brink of madness. The real Jason still has some control. Awaken, Jason said, pointing at Magic and Twinkle. Jarius couldn't tell if he just shouted it or actually used a psychic power. He did not care, either. The two slowly opened their eyes, confused at first, but came to their senses quickly. They jumped up ready to fight. Red kinetically threw Twinkle's daggers down to the ground and pointed at Magic, ready to do similar. You three Clemos need to listen to me. A strong force will be here very soon. You can fight us, or you can help us. One thing is for certain. You will have to fight, Jason said. Magic, Twinkle, and Gray gave each other a doubtful look. If you fight against us, we will not kill you, but the enemy will assume it to be a trick and kill you anyways. Your only chance for survival is to work with us, Jason said. Magic sighed. He's right. Gray and Twinkle admitted it as well. You came back for me, Junior said. None of the other Clemos responded. Thank you for not giving up on me, Junior said. Wish we could say the same. Whatever, Twinkle said. They are coming, Red screamed. No one said anything. They listened for the attackers. In the distance, all of the angelic forces continued to battle the undead with no end in sight to either side stopping. Gray and Junior used their enchanted eyes to peer farther than the others could see. They saw nothing beyond the fighting. No enemy was seen approaching. Red, how do you know they are... Junior was cut off. The ground beneath their feet quaked. Feeling the center of the motion directly under their feet, the six scattered apart, spreading different directions. Jason and Red floated into the air across from one another. The four Clemos formed a distant square without even thinking about it. Jarius jumped back the farthest, summoning his sword. Bursting through the ground came a dozen angels. They wasted no time jumping into attack. The ground Clemos found themselves immediately outnumbered 2-1. All but Jarius were consumed in the fight. He looked in the distance, awaiting for their foe. Jarius, you coward! Help us! Twinkle yelled out. The wizard didn't respond. Instead, he took to the air, flying away to meet an oncoming threat. As he flew, he yelled to his Zincarlas, End the anti-teleportation! They concentrated their psychic energy on their order. Riding a massive, golden-winged dragon was Corsair, refusing to stay back any longer. I hope my best can hold their own against those Klemos while I kill Jarius. I have faith in them. The others noticed Jarius intercepting the dragon. Holy shit, Klemo said. Corsair and Jarius locked eyes. Call your god, Jarius demanded. I can kill you myself, Corsair blustered. Laughing, Jarius threw the Godslayer sword. Another appeared in his hand the moment he let it go. The dragon twirled, dodging the blade. The blade continued flying on its own. Do you honestly believe this will work on me? Corsair mocked. Jarius cast his warlock invocations to teleport on top of the dragon next to Corsair. Counter! Corsair yelled as he waved his hand, preventing Jarius from teleporting. You can't stab me if you can't reach me. Jarius puffed into smoke, disappearing then reappearing in the same location, failing his teleport. Corsair's halo lit up, readying an attack. At the same moment, the dragon took in a deep breath, ready to spew fire all over the warlock. Shit! Jarius shout, attempting to throw another sword at the dragon, knowing it would not reach in time. A spectral wall appeared between Jarius and the dragon the moment the fire streamed out, stopping the flames from reaching him. You need to either help us until we can help you, or do better on your own, Jason thought to Jarius. I am fine, Jarius shouted. Not for long, Corsair taunted back. He wouldn't care, even if he knew his foe was addressing a voice in his head. Jarius rushed forward, attempting to hit the dragon with his sword. The dragon teleported behind him. Corsair leapt off, stabbing downward with his lance, aimed at his enemy. The halo empowered his attack. One of the flying swords struck the charged lance, but bounced off. A crack was left in Corsair's weapon. Jarius blocked with his weapon. Impressive, but I will still kill you. The dragon hit the vile Jarius from behind with its massive claw, knocking him down from the sky. Gray, Twinkle, Magic, and Junior struggled, fighting the dozens of angels that had them surrounded. Red grabbed a hold of one angel, charging it with kinetic energy, throwing his hands, then proceeded to throw it into a mob coming his way. The thrown angel exploded, killing 3 with him. Jason pointed at an angel coming his way. That divine creation exploded. More angels flooded out of the hole in the ground. Why isn't Dagon helping? Klemo yelled out. Jason dispatched another divine warrior while responding. He's way more busy than we are. He is currently keeping Loth and the Reds at bay. Trust me, doing that is not an easy task. Jarius called out, Klemo! A Zinkarla Klemo teleported to him, then teleported down to the ground. Keep making more, he commanded. The Zinkarla vanished. Jarius multiplied his sword into 2 dual-wielding both. Corsair floated down from the sky, looking directly at him. His feet touched the ground. The dragon huffed fire into a ring surrounding the 2. It is just you and me. No zombies are going to help you. Corsair released more halo energy that exploded into the air. I have consecrated the ground here. No undead can enter. The wizard held up his weapons, ready to strike. The 2 charged one another, clashing blades. Wolf! Magic cast his spell. Everything around him slowed down. Only he perceived himself as moving normally. Everything else moved less than 1/10 its normal speed. The arcane Klemo rushed over to his comrades, touching them one at a time. We do not have long. Take full advantage of this spell. Red cast the same spell on himself. The 5 Klemos, according to Jason's point of view, moved lightning fast. I miss the speed of Grotst, Jason commented. Angels dropped like flies by the speed and force of the 5 Klemos. Corsair buckled down on his knees, trying to hold his ground. Jarius pushed down further. His lance shattered from the strain. Jarius threw his sword down. He grabbed Corsair by the neck, lifting him up by one hand. "Call your god!" Corsair spat on Jarius. "Call yours!" Jarius smiled as the spittle slid down his face. "Is Deity such a coward?" Corsair laughed while holding the wizard's wrists, attempting to remove the tight grasp, but to no avail. "I am sure that sort of taunting works on fools. You will lose, Cretan." "Then call your god and make me lose." "I do not command Deity. He commands me." Jarius shrugged. "Meh. He's probably watching anyway." He snapped the neck of Corsair. The dragon raged in the air. It hurled its body down to slam into the murderer. Jarius tossed the dead body of Corsair down. As the body landed, it shimmered and faded exactly as Britt Morrison's did. He adjusted his footing, holding his hands out to the air, ready for the dragon's impact. "Sword!" he called out, summoning a sword to teleport into his hands. The dragon smashed down. He jumped fully into the crash. The old dragon burrowed deep into the ground, forming a crater on impact. A loud boom shook the entire city and surrounding area. Jarius jumped through and out of the golden dragon. Having stabbed through, his body leaped into the air. "Well, Deity, I killed your messenger. You're chosen, and soon we'll kill you too. Show yourself, and we will end this quickly." He hovered in the air, covered in dragon's blood. Jason and the 5 Klemos continued fighting, even through the quake. No one took note or cared what caused the shaking. They were too busy fighting the endless angels that flew towards them. Jason charged his psychic energy to fire into the hole that had them coming out constantly. As Junior held one angel with their swords clashing and the others continued to fight, they all staggered as every single angel puffed into smoke, disappearing from sight entirely. "They're gone!" Twinkle called out. "Confirmed. My eyes would reveal them if they were invisible or hiding," Gray responded, loud enough for everyone to hear. The 5 Klemos approached one another. "We will kill you, Red. But not right now," Gray said. "Save your empty threats. The only reason you ever stood any chance to kill me is due to me holding back, because I would rather absorb you than kill you. You already know that I'm more powerful enough to kill you with a thought," Red boasted. "And I'm powerful enough to do the same to you, Red Klemo," Jason threatened. "Listen, we can't do this right now," Magic interjected. "Something's wrong. The angels, where did they go?" Junior raised his finger. A massive booming voice, like no other they have ever heard, echoed through the entire city. "Banish, vile creatures of evil and darkness." The voice was similar to Dagon's, only not shadowy in nature, but divine in every aspect. Everyone looked out to see the sky lit up in every direction. The dark star Ashta brightened as something came out of it. A holy flame burst all throughout the city and surrounding area. Thousands of miles were covered in the blink of an eye. The Zinkarlas and every undead within that light fell to the ground, lifeless once more. Their bodies disintegrated right before everyone's eyes. "Holy shit!" Klemo yelled. "Ironic choice of words," Red laughed. "Deity's here," Magic said. The 6 rushed to meet each other. Their taunting worked. Deity arrived. "I have been watching you, Cretan." Deity's voice thundered in the sky. standing over 1,000 feet tall with a body covered in the blue flame of the dark star Ashta. Deity's horns were that of a stag. Engulfed in flame, his wings spread out across the sky. Even with his feet touching the ground, the god touched the sky, standing like a mountain, his claws stretched out, pointing directly at Jarius. Only eyes were visible on the face of Deity. They were pure white, with a hint of white fire etched out on the sides. Jarius clutched his sword tightly with both hands. Klimo looked at him and noticed that for the first time, Jarius was actually nervous. The realization hit Klimo, and fear engulfed him as well. "We have angered a god," Klimo said loud enough for the others to hear. Red chuckled. "I must say, this will be fun." Twinkle, Gray, and Klimo looked at Red. "You are insane. We are damned even if we win," Twinkle said. Still chuckling, Red responded, "I accepted that over 2 centuries ago." The swordswoman scolded him, but said nothing more. As badly as she wanted to kill him, that mountain-sized god before them was by far a bigger threat at the moment. Jason's astral projection grew 200 feet taller. His body only reached the knees of Deity. Red was the first to approach the god of chaos and good. Swinging wildly into the air, he flew to meet a true challenge, believing both he and Deity were even. The god swat Red out of the sky long before he got close enough to attack. Red's body disintegrated before the ashes touched the ground. The remains of the evil Klimo crashed into the scalded dirt, spreading across as dried black and white ash. Gray and Twinkle looked at the sight with mouths gaped open in astonishment. He was no god after all. Red can be killed. We killed one ourselves. Jarius killed another one. It is no surprise that Deity killed one, Junior said, teleporting away. Klimo reappeared above Deity's head, plunging Fission down, allowing gravity to work for him. "Holy shit, he's as insane as Red," Magic blurted. "He won't be doing this alone." Teleporting closer to Deity, he charged a spell. Gray looked at the sky, seeing Jarius floating, staring at Deity, doing nothing. "Asshole." She teleported next to Magic in an attempt to use her teleporting talent to damage their massive foe. The astral projection of Jason levitated into the air. He concentrated his mental energy to attack this god. Jason fired a beam of pure energy. Junior noticed Deity was surrounded by a glow that his enchanted vision could see, but had no clue as to what that glow was. Klimo continued to fall to Deity, only to be deflected by that normally invisible barrier. Pain entered him as he touched the barrier that could only be described as fire, cold, acid, electricity, and booming vibrations encompassed Klimo, attacking him all over. With this overwhelming surge overtaking him, he had no other option but to abandon his attack. Attempting to teleport away, he failed due to the pain preventing him from focusing. He could do nothing except writhe in agony. His natural psychic ability to heal himself was draining his psychic energy, exponentially preventing him from teleporting away. Twinkle took note of Junior's plight. He canceled his own attack. Instead, Twinkle teleported Junior away. Both Junior and Twinkle appeared next to their 2 friends. Gray's teleporting attack was met by that same barrier. Magic fired his own spell, forming a red and yellow beam that was parallel with Jason's psionic attack. They were also stopped by the same barrier around Deity. "How can we get past that?" Gray's own psychic attack met the 2 beams, attempting to damage it also. The 3 attacks were enough to shatter the barrier. Jarius hardened his grasp. The old wizard propelled his body towards Deity. "You can attack now!" Jarius screamed at the Klemos. Junior looked at Jarius. I don't believe you. Gray and Twinkle paused. Deity swung his massive, blunt club weapon, slamming into the astral projection of Jason. The psychic entity vanished from the single blow, returning to the mind of Jarius. He is too powerful, Jason thought to Jarius. Deity swung again, smashing the area around the Klemos. The four disappeared under his might. Jarius reached Deity. I am not alone. He slashed his sword, cutting through the thick skin of the god. The damage was evident but minor. He teleported away to the sky once again. With a flash of light and thundering boom, a new six-armed red teleported next to Jarius. About fucking time you got here, Jarius blurted out. Dagon refuses to allow more than one of us to be free at a time. Be grateful that I am here. The massive god swung again. Jarius and Red Klemo swiftly got out of the way. It will not be long before your demise. Jarius, we are losing. How do you expect to beat Deity with just yourself and Red? Jason thought. Jarius ignored the question as he used his sword to teleport next to Deity in order to attack. Jarius was thrusted out by another divine shield, preventing such an attack. He flew down to the ground, crashing in the dirt. Red fired a beam of energy at Deity. The swing of Deity's weapon engulfed both the blast and Red. Red was obliterated for a second time. That's it. I'm getting us out of here. I am taking control of Jarius. What? No! Jarius screamed out. His plea was for nothing. His eyes calmed down with a blank expression. A vein on his forehead pulsated as psychic energy surrounded his body. Just as the sword of Deity made its way to Jarius, the mortal vanished from sight, teleporting away. Klemo opened his eyes, feeling weak and helpless. Looking around without moving his head, he saw his three comrade Klemos just in front of himself, floating in an endless indigo space. We, Klemo struggled to talk, are in the astral plane. Magic, who was already awake, turned his head to Junior. Yes, brother, we are. After we heal, you cannot join Jarius for any reason. Junior nodded his agreement and frowned. He already knew they were right. That truth couldn't be denied. I'm sorry. You should be, Gray yelled, folding her arms in disappointment to Junior. Klemo, Fission spoke. We need to stay with your fellow Klemos. There are so few left, and it pains me to see you and them bicker like this. Junior didn't respond to Fission, his sword. How much longer do we have to be in the astral plane, Klemo? Fission asked. Until we are fully healed. You may not know this, Fission, but as Klemos can return here instead of dying, at least this is a chance we can return here if we are quick enough to teleport away just before death. The astral plane heals us due to our natural psychic natures. Once we can leave here, we will figure out what we will do from here. You are no longer Jarius, Red asked. No, I am not. I am the mind seed Jason planted. The voice of Jarius responded. The two stood on an empty world that was not Titanus. Jason fled to this world immediately to escape Deity. A mind seed? That is funny. From what I've heard about both Jason and Jarius, I am rather surprised to see that he has been dominated by such a thing, Red said. The eyes of Jarius closed, concentrating on activating a psychic power. Yes, a mind seed. Well, a modified one anyways. I have formed my own consciousness over the course of a few months. Red chuckled. and altered his brain to allow yourself to have those familiar psychic powers you possess. Why not just use his magic instead? It is just a matter of preference. Besides, while he casts spells, I can use psychic powers as I see fit and still keep him under my control. Jarius opened his eyes, pointing at the ground with one hand, while raising his other hand up high. Psychic energy coursed around his body. The ground quaked and split right in front of Red and Jarius. Forming from the dirt below rose an altar of Dagon. I could contact Dagon for you. He sees what I see. What's the point of this? Red asked. To speak with myself. The altar finished forming, setting down on the ground. The multi-tentacled alien figure vibrated on its own as it slithered to life. Why are you talking to me? We cannot beat Deity in his current form. Jarius truly believed that sword was enough to kill any god. That sword is the God Slayer, but it will never be enough to kill a god if wielded by such a weak being as you. Did not summon you to argue, so I will just agree with you, Jarius Jason said. Then what do you want? Dagon quaked. To kill Deity. How do you intend on doing that? Are you going to beg for my help? No. I am already keeping Loth from attacking you at this moment. Do not test my patience, Dagon raged. Oh no, you misunderstand, mighty Dagon. Jarius's plan to kill Deity is quite sound. We can still do that. We just have to do a few things first, and they require no effort on your end, Jarius Jason said. Then you waste my time by talking to me. Not in the least, new god. Jason snapped his fingers. You see, what I will do is weaken Deity prior to challenging him. Dagon slithered around for a moment, listening intently to the mind seat of Jason. The only thing I need you to do is to be open to my idea. Get to the point before I rip it from your mind. Jason bowed. I want you to have his worshippers. That will empower you far beyond what you are now. But there is a singular problem with that. And that is, you are a demon. Everyone knows that. However, if I convince the people to worship Jason instead of Deity, that sliver of psychic energy Deity receives from worshippers will instead go to Jason, who... Jason intentionally trailed off, allowing Dagon to figure out the rest on his own. Who I own and control completely. The power would automatically become mine. Dagon paused momentarily to allow the thought of converting Deity's followers sink in. Jason waited for Dagon to respond. The air thickened with Dagon's dark mist. Jarius Jason suppressed a cough. How would you do it? Jason smiled. You, Dagon, are going to love this.